Well, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone's well. Here we are on a Wednesday morning, Southeast Asia time, which is your 6:30 p.m. in the US anyway. Hope everyone's well. Let's see how we go today on the trading floor. So what are we looking at? Okay, so I've done my levels, and we're sitting in between overnight POC, point of control, and the overnight value low. So let's see which way the market wants to go. We've had our first move, which was through the overnight POC into the previous day POC, and we've sort of taken a bounce from there. So what was that? That was a, look at that, 12.75, which is 50 ticks. That's interesting. I'm going to start watching that because I've noticed that it does go a few times. It does go exactly that 50 ticks. So anyone who's chasing a bit higher instantly gets taken out. So something to just watch. I haven't really paid attention this early. I'd normally trade from Tokyo, but I thought I'll start a bit earlier on my sessions, which is the Australian time, 7 a.m. Australian time. So how long have we got? We've got 25 minutes till Australian Open. So first point of call is the overnight POC, point of control, which is this area. So I'll probably, and what are we looking at there? That is that's 18 point move. So I think I'll probably look at initially a trade along. I don't know. I think it's going to probably play funny buggers here. So possibly just react straight off that. The purple line you can see just underneath. I note the previous day close. So at close of the trading day, at TradingView, you can set that up in TradingView. Where do you set that up in TradingView? Probably scales and lines. I think it's in here somewhere. Can anyone see that? No. Status line. Scale. Okay. Trading. Anyway, somewhere in here. I'll look that up for next time. Somewhere in here, you just and it's just a point to watch. It's not a reaction. Well, sometimes it can be a reaction point, but I don't really use that in my trading, other than maybe for a take profit or a stop loss. So instead of stop loss, just underneath. Maybe I don't really trade off it though. It's just a visual guide. Which I often add to the chart. Well, it's automatically now. I just leave it in there. Okay, so how did we go overnight? So the US New York session looks like had some fun in there. Wow, look at these! Look at these candles. So that's a pretty big move, isn't it? So it started up way up here at the So we're up high. The high's on the overnight. This is the overnight session. So it started up here, swept the highs up here, and then came straight back down, went through overnight, the overnight levels. Oh, sorry, it went through the overnight levels, and then formed some lows down here, and then took straight off. And all that move, and that's a big move. That's what I was going to do, measure that. That's 457 points. Wow. Yeah, it's a bit too volatile for the AJ. I don't normally, I'm trying to start, hopefully go to sleep, or that's my relax time anyway, during the New York session. That's 9:30 p.m. my time, so I'm normally zonked out of it. So, well, just had a bit of a power outage there. Hope my stream is still going. Are we still going? Are we still going? Anyone hear me? Okay, it looks like we're still going. Yeah, so I've had a couple of brownout. We call them, well, it's called brownouts here. Luckily, my condo that I'm in, my condo building I'm in, has a generator, so it kicks in pretty quick. That didn't even, just gave a flicker of the lights. But anyway, in Southeast Asia, you do experience the odd brownout or two where the power goes out. But where I am in Makati, Philippines, it's actually pretty good, to be honest. I haven't had too many problems. I reckon I have more outages in when I'm back in Australia, in Melbourne. Seem to get one of those reasonably regularly back there. And the house I was in a house, so there was no generator there. So if it went down, it went down. Anyway, back to trading. Okay, so we're still developing this session, obviously. 6 a.m. And we are just seeing where the market goes at the moment. So Australian opens in at 7 a.m, 20 odd minutes away, 20 minutes away, 19 minutes. So I want to try and get a trade in before then, if I can. If not, I'll just wait for the 7 a.m. or 7 p.m. for you guys, that 7 o'clock open, and see what that does. It's not as volatile as the Tokyo, but you can get, it definitely can move the market a bit. That basically the hourly candles from now, or the hourly timing from now, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, usually is a bit of action coming in as those markets open up. So the 7 a.m. is what I call Australian Open. They're 2 hours ahead, so it's 9 o'clock for them. So to be honest, I think all of this area basically is the Australian sort of opening up into the market 6 o'clock onwards. But I'm never around for the 6 o'clock, and it's a bit too crazy. I want the market to at least form a bit of directional manipulation, whichever way it is, in that first half hour to the hour. But as I said, I will try and do a trade if I can between that 6:30, 7 o'clock, and try and be out if I can before that 7 o'clock, just in case there's a bit of news. I don't know. I didn't actually look at I'm not a big news. I'd rather just follow. I'm not a big news sort of reader. I find it can sort of skew biases and whatever. I'd rather just play look, whatever the news is, you'll see it on the chart anyway. So I don't really want to. I don't trade the New York session anyway. So those big news days, news events, don't really affect me too much. It's just when our friend Mr. Trump does a tweet, they're the things that affect me, and they can actually happen in that Asian session. So that you can see, but I'm not sitting on what's his platform called? The social, what's it called? Social Truth or whatever it is. I don't sit on there and wait for Mr. Trump to let us know what's going on in the world and which direction we're going to go. So, a little bit slow. This was a good move. What time did that start? See, that probably would have been where I would have entered. I would have entered a short from up here. And that was a big, strong candle. So I would have done my wait for that to peter out and then followed that's definitely, this is a little grey area because that's forcing you. That's why I sort of wait for these candles. If I see a candle with volume, I want to wait for the reaction. If that's just going up slowly, like some of these candles up slowly, into POC for example here, because these are layered on top of each other, I want to see that reaction. So that is just moving up, just gradually. See the wicks. It would, if there was no POC here, I would have probably looked at a short even there. To be honest, I would have waited, maybe looked at a short, but I'm not going to do it until I see a red candle. So I probably wouldn't have got suckered into that because of that very reason that we were just seeing green. But knowing there's a POC up here could have been a opportunity to, especially on this candle, this candle here. Once I sort of got through that might have been an opportunity to take a trade, but it's very early on, so I'm trying to control my trading. So I probably would have waited to see what happens here, and because we got one up here, this was the one I probably would have looked at, potentially shorting. But this would have this big candle, big volume engulfing candle here would have freaked me out. So it might have changed my viewpoint that there's strength, but what's up higher? We're a long way away from there this early in the session. So all easy to say in hindsight, but I would have been waiting for that reaction. As soon as I saw this, knowing I might have entered here, once I saw a bit of a downturn here, I probably would have entered around here, going back into here. That's sort of an obvious trade. So we'll be watching the same thing up here, the same scenario. Because we've got the higher, because they're layered, I want to see the reaction of this first one to tell me if we've got enough strength to go up here. But this could very easily hit here and just come straight down for one move, and then look to go straight back up. So I might take a target here because I've had a bit of a bad run the last few days. Even last week I had a couple of bad ones. So I will monitor this like a hawk, knowing I would prefer, because it's layered, I prefer the higher one, but there's a good chance it won't get to that at this point. There's a good chance it'll come up here, especially because we've had a bit of a down, like there's a bit of bearish activity in the market at the moment. I'm probably thinking we might just react off this first one, get a point, say something like this. And then go back up. And then we'll see what happens at this point. We'll see if the market wants to go up higher into this level or just again bounce off. So there could be a couple of good trades here if I read it correctly. If I don't read it correctly, I think you know the result. Anyway, we'll see how we go. We'll see how we go. Got to get up here though. So we've got a bit of movement here. Got a little bit of movement here. Yeah, I'm very visual. I sort of need, and it's the old adage, the more you see, the more you know. Sometimes it can sort of cloud your vision. So I get it why a lot of people trade very minimalistic and don't have all this shit on their charts. I get it, I really do, because the more information you have, it can lead you to overthink and miss trades. But unfortunately, that's just how I trade. I just need to see a bigger picture. And I'm sort of a better trader as the day goes on and I'm sort of in the zone. But anyway, I want to try and master the Asian session for futures. We've got 10 minutes. 10 minutes, so that's okay. 10 minutes until the Australian Open starts. Am I recording this? Okay. Anyway, I hope everyone's trading day went well yesterday. Wow. Some of these moves, wow. Look at that. It's nearly 500 points. Way to go. Look at these steps. Look at these little steps. When I'm on my game, like if you can see, look at this stuff. You come up here. Where's it start? What time was that? So that's at 12 a.m. my time, 12 p.m. your time, so lunch. If you're catching these moves, especially this one, look at this. If you're onto this, why would you have taken that? Depending what the nodes were looking like then, but this is like, actually let's look. Well, okay, it's just, well, even, whoops, even just on the, hang on, where do we, yeah, so taking these overnight low, that would have been the point I'd be looking at, even way down here. I don't trade down here, there's nothing down here. So I would have waited to these areas. God, I'm a good trader when I can go back in time, aren't I? But if you take an entry here, and you had a couple of opportunities to get in the market there, look at that. So you set your stops down here underneath the, if that was forming, that would have been forming even, or even if you had a, that's probably the ideal spot to put your stop loss, and just look at and you monitor that arm, take profit, take one profit there. If you had yourself at break even and had maybe 2 contracts in, look at that. And that just kept going up. So if you just trailed that, probably trail it. That's a huge, even what's that? That's because really, maybe there you would have got out. But looking at that, that's how much is that? 300. That's a 300 point move. Yeah. Like there's a couple of points, yeah, because it's breaking the... It just looks like bull flags all the way up. Yeah, it would have been. It would have had to have had some balls and had a perfect run, but there's nothing there really leading you to think that the market's dying. Maybe here you might have got... Well... Oh yeah, so that's the point of contact for overnight. It's bouncing. Gee. Like even if you had a, been stopped out somewhere down here, what's the market doing? You had that extra entry point on the overnight. So it's gone flying through it. But remember, that's still developing, so this isn't relevant at that stage. But straight off the overnight point of control, bang. So it would have been a few opportunities last night for sure. See, if I was trading New York, I think this is just too noisy for me. I would wait till it settles down, and it's just too late. So that's at, what did I say? That's at 12 a.m. It's too late for me. Some big moves, though. Some big moves. All right, so just an update as I bought some more Apex evals. So what I'm doing, I bought 3 50Ks and 1 150K. Now, reason being, it's sort of similar because basically a 50K, 150K is basically 3 times the 50K in theory. So what I've done, I'm copy trading 3 accounts, 3 50K accounts and 1 150K account. So my goal is to have a few 150K, probably at least 5. So what I'm doing is I'm copy trading, and the way the copy trader works in Tradeovate is, if I can show you, these are all my accounts. So I've got 5 Thundards, I don't know if you can see that, and I've got these are the dead ones. These haven't off yet, but I've got 1, 2, 3 50K and 1 150K. So theory being, to have run these at the same time, I've got 2 contracts in my copy trading. I am, how does that show up? Yeah, I've got, I don't know how to bring that up. How do I bring that up? That's the configuration. Anyway, I'm trading 3 50K, 1 150K. So in theory, 5, 6 accounts. I'm doing 2, like if you convert it to 50K accounts, I've got 3 50K, 1 150K. I'm trading 2 contracts, because you can set, once you're setting up the copy trading, you can have each account at one contract in the NQ, or you can put multiple. So if you wanted to start with 2, you put 2. For the 150k one, rather than put 3, because it's 3 times 50, I put 2 because I just want to be a little bit more conservative on the 150. So if I kill my 50k's, I'll go again and do the same thing and try and build. I'll still have a bit of volume left. I still have a bit of drawdown left in the 150k, and I'll try and save that one if I lose the other 3 50k's, if that makes sense. So the goal is to trying to get. I've got 5 funded accounts at the moment, which I'll trade. I'm a little hesitant because I'm a bit of a chicken shit, so I'll trade those off stream, and I'll just try and do evals just for now until I've got a bit of a few more accounts. 1, 2, a bit more confidence in streaming and trading. I just need a little bit more confidence before I start trading my funded accounts. Alright, so what are we doing here? Are we making our move? What's the time? Okay, so Australia opens in 1 minute. So I'm going to ignore the first move. I'll wait for the 5 minute. I'll wait for the 5 minutes orb and see how we go. Let's see what the first minutes do. I'm actually hoping it just sort of settles here. Maybe trade into here, or maybe just wait. Let's see. We'll see what happens. I'm not going to rush it. I like it coming up here once more though. Right, so is this the 7? Yeah, so this is, we're open now. So Australia's open. Usually ignore the first move. That's just suckering in retail. And to be honest, I don't know if anyone even trades orbs. Well, I'm sure they do, but I don't think many people trade the orbs for these for the Asian sort of session. Everyone trades New York, which is fine and it makes sense, but it's still the same. It's the same theory. It's just wait to see what the 5 minutes does and monitor the reaction, the breakouts from the 5 minute. So hasn't got a lot of well, in my eyes, it's not really anything I trade using other than conceptually visualizing where I am in the market. But I might take a punt here if we start coming up on the breakout, maybe trading into this, which goes against all my rules, but we'll see. Alright, so we are at the 2 minute, so got another 3 minutes. So I've got my little tool that I've built that does this for you, but only because I'm lazy. So all it is, if you want to just do it, don't use it for information, but don't use it for trading. Just use it just to visualize the market, how the market's going. So you would draw. That's not set in stone yet. That could still go up higher. I'm just drawing the levels. So you draw your high there. You can make that green for long. And you do one of these down here, which was the So I do wick to wick, which was the 1 minute. Yeah, that one. Make that red. And what I like to do is draw the 50 halfway point as well. All right. So and then you just follow it up. Or the other way is, like once it's done, is to draw a box. That's an ugly box. Right, draw a box. And then do a middle line. That's something that does it all for you actually. And then just, how long have we got? 7:05. But because I'm lazy, I've just built a little, my own indicator that's got that already drawn in. That'll on close of this candle, basically it draws it. All right, so that's our 5-minute Australian orb. Get rid of that. And what sort of move is here? What am I doing? I'm doing, what sort of move have we got here? So it's, it's only 5 points, so I'm not gonna worry about that. If that was down here, and I wanted to take a little bit of just a little base hit, a little stab at it, I might have considered that. But it hasn't broken out anyway, so it doesn't matter. So when I say breakout, I'd want to see a candle close, not a wick, but a candle close outside, and I might consider coming up and taking a trade out of it, but very low. It's not a strong, let's put it, it's not an A+ sort of setup out of there. It's just something I might, if I'm in the zone and I've just got a bit of self-doubt about my my trading at the moment, so I probably wouldn't have done it anyway, but if I wanted to just start the day off just with a little hit, maybe, but not for that. That's not far enough. And how would I have done that anyway? So this is probably what I would have done, just below. That would have been the ideal. Okay. That probably would have been the ideal, and to be honest, I probably would have, at worst, gone sort of, see how there's a fair value gap there. This is the only way I use fair value gaps. If I just see that, see that's, I can't see if that one did it. It's not totally mitigated, so it hasn't been fulfilled, that whole area. So that would have been a good chance to put a stop there, my stop there. And if I was only chasing 50, I still would have chased probably 50. Did that work? So we're up on those levels. So if that was closer to here, rather than, see, it's got to do a bit of work to get through here. So it's just not worth, it's not, like, it's too big a risky trade. But if this was sort of chasing, if this wasn't here, well, I wouldn't have gone in that entry anyway, but you know what I mean. If this was up a bit higher, within my 50 tick range, I would have considered that trade. Even though I keep saying I don't trade off areas, but I trade into them. Look, it's just how my gut feels at the time as well. But the main point I'm trying to get at, these are the areas I am targeting one way or the other. So what's the move now? So the move now is just to wait to see if it breaks if it breaks the orb and comes up here. I want to see the reaction point here. And to be honest, it could go overweight. Still a 50-50 call on that. If it comes in with strength, I'll either wait for it to come back, for a retest to go long, or if it comes in with strength and then pulls way back under with strength, I'll even consider shorting here. This is why it's important not to try and have a bias, too strong a bias either way. So whilst I think it's going up here, even this next move, it could just be looking for here and then come down, which is very, very possible. So let me get my market ready. So 28,925, is that exact? Yep, 28,925 here. So here we go. So we've come in pretty heavy. And we've gone through, I want to see a retest here. And if that comes down. Okay. So I missed the move. It needed to come back here. So I'll wait for my move here, and you know what? I'm gonna set a 28,943, 28,943, 28,943. I'm gonna set a sell here.
Order working.
So sell here. What am I doing? Short here. 50. Let's hopefully get tagged in. Alright. That's a strong candle. Let's put my stop loss, 955.
Order working.
Alright. If it goes to there, it goes to there. And I will put my 930.
Order working.
That's all I want, Mr. Market Maker. Give me something. Come on. That's very strong though. Don't like that. This is why I prefer these moves. The first move. Now it's probably going to try and sweep here. And even if it did, like even putting my stop there, if it's getting there, it's going to sweep that. So I'm happy just to lose the 50. It is what it is. Only a little tickler. So, and this is the indication here that I wanted to get in along. I wanted to retest, come back and retest here if possible, but anyway, didn't do that. How does that look on the... Can you guys see that? No. Alright, so see, I've got 3 50Ks and that one 50K one. Let's see how it goes. Come on, bounce. Is that stuck? See, look, it's bouncing right on that. This is looking. That's looking bull flaggy too. But all I wanted to do is come back down into here, come back into this fair value gap, take out half of that. That's all I'm asking. Is that too much? Yeah, we got the 200 SMA or EMA, which it has reacted off. So if it goes above this with strength again and sweeps here, I sort of think we're heading up. I don't think it's just going to sweep and come down. It's just sort of a different... who knows? Why do I bother trying to predict this market? It's crazy. I seem to do better on BTC. It's a bit... I don't know. I think I've just done BTC a lot longer. So I don't know if anyone's sort of following my story. I came from more a Bitcoin crypto background, which I still do, but I am trying to get myself also set up for because crypto you can trade 24 hours, as everyone knows, but I like the session trading with futures, or the idea of session trading with futures, plus using prop firms, because with crypto I use my own money. I don't even know if there is any prop firms. I'm sure there is. I just haven't looked into it. But I am... I trade with a live account, my own money on crypto. Don't know. Except for that one candle. Got a bit of a pin candle here, but we're looking strong. We're looking strong. Yeah, it's just taking out that high there. Bloody hell. I think I'm gonna cop this one. It's a bit bull flaggy. This next candle is probably going to be pretty telling. If that goes above, I'm probably in trouble. And I'm in trouble. Fuck me. No.
Stop filled.
He's gone.
Order cancelled.
He has gone. So what's the next target? That'll be this fair value gap here. But so far away. Back in 29s. I suppose it's not that far. On 1 minute it looks a fair way, doesn't it? Alright, so what was that? That was a 260. 260 on my brand new bloody evals. So not a great start, but I usually allow 750 for a day. So we've still got I've still got 2 contracts to trade. And you know what? I'm probably going to give it one. I probably will, hopefully, if I see the right setup. So we've got the overnight value high here. We've got previous week value low, and we've got the previous day's value high up here. So there's a lot of room to play with up there. I guess that's where the most sort of highest probability trades are going. Alright, so let's see what it does off this fair value gap here. I'm not going to trade it, but I suspect we might come down and maybe test down here. And to be honest, I'll probably look at trading. I might do another long off here. But again, because they're stacked, these two close together, 13 points, 50 ticks, I'll probably look at the reaction here. Could come down here, but this could be the first move to continue higher. Because there's definitely liquidity up here. It's just if there's enough oomph. And this all might be happening in the Tokyo session. So Tokyo. Was there any news? Did I check? What's it going to do here? Should get a bit of a pullback, a reaction at least from here. Oh dear. Not having much luck on stream. I think I've had one winning trade on stream. I've only streamed twice though. The first stream I did didn't even go live. I did the whole friggin' session, 3 hours. Well, not the whole session, but I did 3 hours. And for some reason YouTube didn't go live, so I did put it up there. I did put the I was recording it, luckily or unluckily, and I put it back. I did put it on YouTube, so it is in my videos if anyone wants to see. Yeah, and the other funny thing that happened in that session was I'm so used I'm in the Philippines, Southeast Asia. It is so hot, so friggin' hot. So I don't trade with a shirt on or anything like that. And I was in my comfort zone during that whole trade. So 3 hours went by without a shirt on. And in the last half hour, I realised, oh shit, whoops. So if you want to see a bit of hairy chest, bit of Aussie hairy chest, nipples out there, if you're into that sort of thing, go check it out for free. It's free. You can pay me for it if you want. But anyway, I should take that down. It's a wonder YouTube hasn't taken it down, actually. Scaring the kiddies. Okay, so what are we doing here? Trading is so easy in hindsight. So easy in hindsight. That's a strong strength. Out of the orb, into the overnight POC. I made the wrong call there. So much strength there, so much strength there. And it bounced off to 200 EMA, and now we're above. The market's above my level, my averages. So now the market is telling you that it is bullish at this very moment. Yeah, we'll get rid of that. Right. And why aren't I in? That should be showing up. Why aren't I connected? In my 58. Yeah. So there's our trades. Had a reverse, that it would have been alright. Let's get rid of that. Got enough shit on my chart as is. Alright, what are we going to do here? I hate it when they're stacked so close, because I've become a little bit indecisive. And what are we? We are... Okay. So 50%, it's just funny how all these points of interest in the market, when I say the point of interest here, this is the opening 5-minute range. It's right on the 50%. A lot of people poo-poo fibs, but when a market's technical, and look, to be honest, the Asian market is a lot more technical than I think it's more technical than New York. New York has a big volatility swing, and a lot of manipulation. So you Yanks, you like your market makers in that area, in that part of the world, love manipulating us poor little innocent retailers, our little retail traders. Anyway, so what I was saying was these are the areas that you could quite conceivably see as a pullback, a retrace. This sort of area, 6180 and the 50, and that sort of is that whole range. Coincidence enough? So why am I looking at that? I just wanted to see where this stacked up around the previous day POC and overnight POCs. So it could conceivably come back more to this sort of level. And I'd be willing to look at a long if it did come back here. And I just want to have a win today, so I might do 2 contracts. Well, I'll do 1 contract, but with the wider stop loss level. So something like that maybe. if you know what I mean. And then we've got a bit of a buffer from the overnight POC, the current session POC, and the bottom of this orb. I really like this trade setup actually. Now, what can sometimes happen though is it'll come down and won't hit this area with a bit of manipulation. So I might just enter a little bit above, and what I usually use are the nodes, the node structure here. So that here for the bounce. Now I'm reasonably confident in the trade surviving this. If it's not going to survive this and this area, if it's going to come through and come through POC, so be it. I just want to make sure I get the move. So I'll probably take a bit of risk here and set up. Oh jeez, still going higher. If it comes down here, maybe it's just going to fucking, excuse my French, sorry. Maybe it's just going to target the overnight value high straight away. I was hoping for a bit of a bounce off this fair value gap down. Right, we got our bear flag, our bull flag here. So as soon as you see that, that's showing strength. That's just setting up, building the volume, building the equity or the liquidity to take off, which it has done. So really there's nothing else up here other than the value high and some of these levels. So maybe get a reaction here. We'll see. How long have we got till Tokyo? Tokyo, half an hour. Sorry. How are we looking? If it goes straight through that, that's just going straight up. Wow, that's a good move, isn't it? Look at that. If I was purely trading the orb, what move would that have been? That would have been... that's 50 points nearly. What's it going to do here? Blast through or just create a double top? Blast straight through. Wow. Wow. That's a decent move. So it's not always Tokyo. That's why I don't mind this earlier stuff. There is a bit of volatility. It does look at, can go like snail's pace. Alright, so that's probably looking at coming here, coming down this area, maybe continuing up to. But it's pretty obvious we are full on bullish. Now the question is, do we get a bounce off here? Now this is, because of the strength in this, I'm not going to just set a stop limit or a buy limit in that fact. I'm looking for reaction at this level. And if it does fly through, and I'm still looking long, I'll wait for a retest back in here somewhere before I'd consider going up. Considering that long move. Surely it needs a bit of a breather down. To be honest, I'm more interested in shorting, but I'm going to do that 100. So I've got a bit of room because I'm not reading the market at the moment too well. So come down in this area, hopefully continue back higher. As soon as it gets behind here, we should hit the value highs. Is that level exact? Oh, hang on. Is that my... What the hell? That's moved. Oh no. No, that's previous. Hang on, what's going on here? Oh, my overnight value high is wrong. Fuck's sake. I checked this morning. Why did that move? Look at that. Fucking hell. That would have been the move. Is that right? Oh my god. What did I do? Fuck. Oh, that would have been the move. Would have got out. Would have been out already. Sorry about that. Don't copy trade me. I make some stupid mistakes, guys. Let's check all these levels while I'm here. I have done this. I checked this already, but overnight POC, yes. Hang on, what the hell's going on here? That's moved. Alright, hang on, let's do this properly. Previous day, value high. I know the previous weeks are right. That's right. Overnight value high. Overnight value high. Previous day POC. Overnight POC is correct now. No, that was where it was, because it was right on the open range. For some reason that moved. And overnight value lows out. What the hell is going on here? Previous day V's, okay. I don't know what's happened there. My points moved. So what's a good idea to check them? Because sometimes, I don't know if it's just because I've got Tradeovate set up on the same chart and it sometimes loses display sync. Oh, that would have been the move. Far out. And that was the 100 move, wasn't it? And this one would have been a good one to, because we're right up here after a big long strength for me. If I saw that there was going to be a push down, that would have been one I want 2 contracts on. So take profit, like I would have gone for 20. Let's have a look. Oh my god, so frustrating. Fucking trading. Who would want to be a trader? And that would have been okay actually, because it's above that first fair value gap. Yeah, I'm not sure I would have got 2 contracts in, because that hit straight away. I would have got that. Pretty certain I would have got that one. And initially I would have been hoping, if I saw that, I would be hoping that I go back into the market for a retest of this area and then get another contract in. Even if it had gone up here, I would have liked to have considered putting in a second contract. Got out here, first take profit, and let that run. Let that run. And I probably would have been, I can't remember if there was any, is there any... I probably would have got out, to be honest, sort of in this range. I probably would have got out this candle. So I wouldn't have got right down here, because I was looking at it thinking maybe I would have targeted here. Anyway, no use friggin' hypothesizing over that. And he's so frustrating. Oh, what the fuck happened there? Why did that move? I swear I checked this, guys. Because what I do in the morning, like I said, I've got my own little tool here that that's got all the areas in there, pre-built in there. And if they're slightly out, I just turn them off. Like these ones are fine. The ones that are turned off are slightly out, and I just move my ray lines up accordingly. Like usually they're pretty close, so I actually use them, but I make a little adjustment. But that was way off. And before stream, I actually got up, unlike yesterday, I got up a little earlier so I could set all this up. But obviously I fucked it up. Oh, that's so frustrating. Sorry. Last time. No, I'm going to do it one more time. Give me one more time in it. Fuck, that is so frustrating. That's it. No more. I'm not even mentioning it again. In fact, I need a water. I need to step off and grab a water, and I'll be back. You watch the trades for me, guys. Watch these levels. The level we're watching is To be honest, it'd be good to come back down here. For a long, because we're definitely bullish. I just don't think it's going to have the strength to get through there. If it does, this is the area I probably would want to. And I'll just do a small 50 tick. The only problem is the stop loss. Where was our there's our Australian, what is the time? 15 minutes to New York, to Tokyo. Yeah, so I think this is as far down as it probably will go. My stop loss is in a bit of no man's land there. To be honest, I probably prefer to have my stop loss there. Just got that little buffer. So maybe I have to target a bit more. Back into there, maybe. In an ideal world, I want my stop loss under there, but there's not enough buffer. To be honest though, we are setting a bit of a level up here, a fair bit of volume up here. This POC, the session POC, and the value high is probably going to be moving up into this area anyway. What are we at? 70. Ah! Far out. Did I just miss that trade? Alright, I'm gonna enter here. Just wanna see what happens. I'm gonna fucking take a chance.
Order working.
Bad luck.
Order filled.
952. 952.
Order working.
Right one. 988. Come on, have a bit of juice. Just get me on the bloody board, fuck's sake. Excuse my French. Alright, I'm gonna... Oh, no, I can't, because I haven't got a stop loss. I haven't got a take profit yet, have I? Am I being greedy? I just think it's going to come up here higher, but... No. Let's be disciplined, AJ. What do I want? 988.
working.
Come on, baby. Probably will come down a bit, actually. Have a feeling we might enter the... I'm happy with... Look, if this goes against me, it goes against me. It's just not my day. This will be it, actually. If I lose this trade, I'm gonna I'll wait till Tokyo. Ideally, I want to be out of this trade though before Tokyo, because this could whipsaw down here, take me out, and then whipsaw back up, and don't even get a chance to get back in. But I probably won't trade it anyway if I lose this trade, because I've taken on a little bit extra risk. Got a little bit. I could do a smaller trade, but I probably won't. If I lose 2 in a row, I'll wait till tomorrow. All I ask. Is it too much to ask? You don't want the overnight POC yet. Save it, guys. Oh, Jesus. I'm just getting no luck. So if I had a 50, if I was aiming for 50 then, I probably would have been out then. What am I doing? I'm doing a long from where to go? I went there. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, just taken out. But that's why I've sort of extended it. Look, if this was up here, I would have done that. I would have done that trade as a 50. But because I just need a bit more buffer, and it's looking pretty bearish, so it probably won't even matter. But at least I've got the I've got that node there. Is that the one I went off? No, that one.
Stop filled.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Look, not my day today. Not my fucking day. 700. Well, there's my 750 anyway. Let's get rid of that.
Order cancelled.
That's trading. Bad week for the AJ. That's 3 losing days. Wow. Wow. So what have I done? I've done 2. I did 2 trades first day. 3. Yes. Jeez. So I had 1 win out of the last 5 trades. 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 7 trades. 1 out of 7. Whoa. That's not good. That's not good. On my brand new friggin' accounts. Oh well. Oh well. So my what did I lose on that? So on my 150k accounts, I've still got 2.5 left, drawdown. So it did want this area. So on these, I am trading a bit more aggressive on the NQ because I'm doing evals. But see, this would have been the perfect stop. So these are the points you'll look for. Look, learn from my mistake. I know I'm trading shit, but just learn from what you see and what I'm sort of trying to get at. These are if you can set your stop losses, like I was way off. I can't remember what point I was looking at. Was it this? Is that the exact? Oh, so fucking. That's frustrating. None. Yeah. Far out. Was that there? Because normally that's the stuff I look for. What is it? F5. I'm out of all my trades, aren't I? For newbies, if you're using Tradeovate, make sure, well, any platform doesn't matter, but make sure you friggin' exit. Don't leave your trailing stop losses or take profits. Make sure you're clear. And the only thing I don't like, I don't know if anyone's traded Quantower. I like Quantower as a platform better in a lot of ways. But I just find there's a bit of latency issues. Like I've got pretty good internet here, but I had some problems. It was mainly over the New York session where it was sort of struggling every now and then. It was a little bit, there's a couple of little latency issues, but I like Quantower as a platform if anyone's ever traded it. It's a bit more obvious when you're on the chart though, whereas here with Tradeovate I find it, I'm always freaking, I wouldn't say always, but I'm quite often forgetting to take off. So you just got to make it part of your plan. As soon as you win, lose, whatever, you exit all your positions. Don't leave anything on there, because you could be sitting up here. You could have a take profit up here. You lose down here, and it's not on your chart, so it's not in easy eyesight. So you might leave it on. Always just make it a habit of as soon as you exit, say fuck me, and just make that part of your. God, I swear a lot. Sorry, guys. Just make that part of your habit to hit exit at all points, at all sort of end of trades. I mean, sorry. Still bearish though. Well, maybe it wasn't ever going up there. So we've tagged the. Let's get rid of those because they're annoying the hell out of me. It's tagged there again, coming down. Back into the sessions developing value high. Yeah, so it sort of looks like it does want to go back down for a nice V-shaped recovery. And this is what Asia does. Asia has a plant, goes and takes the highs of the previous day. That's why I was banking on it still coming back up here, especially that. That's a big magnet, especially layered with previous day value high. So Asia likes to take all that out and then head down and sweep some of these areas. Doesn't always, of course, but it likes doing that. But see, if we bring back our fib retracement, where are we looking? So this, can't even see. So we hit the 50% now. Looks like we'll target at least the which is the pop, the 61%. So remember I was saying these are the key areas for reaction points. 61.80, 50. If the market's still strong and strength, these are the areas where it likes retracing back from. So I would suggest if we're hitting down here, and this is another area to 70.5, which is right on that 50 orb level. What a day. What a day in paradise. Whoa. Okay. Now if we start playing around under here, then we're looking at going down further. So it's going to start doing... Going to start trying to sweep these overnights and previous day lows, like what Asia likes to do. But this is unusual. Like, I know where... Oh, this is Tokyo now. So this is Tokyo's move. If that's the case, I think Tokyo will probably push up here. Look, what am I trying to predict? That's silly. Come back up into here and then come down at some point down to these areas. We're right at the start of the session though. There's some big moves there. Is anything happening in the world? Crucial Japan bond sale to test market as the global sell-off deepens. The global bond route is accelerating. Here's what to know. I'm just reading the news from FinViz. Bit of Japanese news, so that's why these candles are happening, I guess. If I was going to do a long here, oh, that's too far. Best I could do is probably just that orb. It's a fair bit of volume there. You've got to get through the POC. You've got to get through this area. That value, that little bar there though, that's the one I'd be would have hoped to have probably been under for a stop loss. But I'm not going to trade this. Of course it's the one that would probably work. Yeah, that sort of idea. Not meant to be. Yeah, so there wasn't much news. So that's just... But people who say there's no volatility in Asia, just watch this week. This week's been... And last week, actually. Last week there was heaps. Yeah. So as long as we sort of stay above this area, I'm still kind of in a bullish mode. But yeah. I just want a couple of live friggin' wins on screen. I've done a couple off screen, but that doesn't count, does it? Now, I'm not in this trade, guys. I am not in this trade. And thank God, by the looks. So, my pretend trade here, I've just placed my... Should really be there. Oh, fuck's sake. That would have lost too. Jeez. AJ, what is going on with your reads? Wow. Okay, well, take all of that back. So, that's heading down here. So, Asia's already going to play funny buggers and take out the highs and take out the lows all in friggin' the first few hours by the looks. That's done some pretty crazy moves. How far was that? 44 points. I would be surprised if it takes it out straight away. I think what it'll do is come up here and chop, chop, chop around the POC. I actually had a plan. I haven't even gone through it. I didn't have a chance to read through it, but I did this at... What time did I do this? Sorry, you can't see my other screen, but... what does my analysis... I did a bit of an AI. I've got an AI GPT... set up for today, roadmap for today. I didn't even get a chance to read it, but I'm just going to read it now. So this was at about 6:15. What does it say? So, alright, my A plus setups was a short on the on overnight PD. Yeah, the overnight and the previous day. Oh, jeez. There you go. I should have fucking listened to that. Although, no, this was here. So it was saying, well, it was saying what I was trying to do anyway. It was saying to short the overnight POC and the previous day POC. So, Mr. AI, you wouldn't have helped. So my A plus setup, according to AI, was short on the overnight and the previous day POCs, Stop loss above 845. Sorry, what? No, 28,945. 945. Yeah, well, okay. $9.45. Remember how I had this up higher? Yeah, I fucked up there. Don't know what happened there. And there was a good chance on a medium chance for a runner. The other A setup was short on acceptance below 28,870. So if it was going to do this early on, a short into the on value, overnight value. Anyway, that wouldn't have helped anyway. Well, I don't know. I think I've had enough. I think I'm going to go do some sit-ups, do a bit of weight training, and go have a swim. And get away and not look at the screens for the day. What are we doing? Yeah, so for what it's worth, not that anyone will be listening to my trading at the moment, but I think we're going to just come up into this area. Play around here. Just chop around in this area and then start taking out this stuff into London. That would be what I would imagine is a good sort of pattern to play around with. I won't say it's unusual, but it's unless it wants to go up here and then do that. Alright, so it'll either do that, I think. It'll either chop around here before for a good few hours, and then come and take these levels out, and then head up a bit for the London session. So it'll be sort of that choppy little feel, but if there's volume in the market, and there's enough volume in the market, maybe we'll look at coming up here and taking out a few more of these, because it's I think it'll still sweep here. It's just when. So if it does it early, I think that's what it'll probably start doing. It'll probably just come up, either chop, and then look at targeting up there maybe for London. Anyway, I might leave that there. Sorry, someone sent me a text. Let me leave it there, guys. Sorry I'm effed up, but that's trading. So I'll love you and leave you, and we'll catch you tomorrow. Same time. So 6:30 tomorrow, I should be back on. All right, guys. Have a good day.